setup. You know, I'm going to play the role of maybe a second tier support guy for an e-commerce application. We happen to be selling flowers. I won't get into that. We certainly could be selling anything that's sellable on the web, you know, whether it's war secrets or kidneys or whatnot. So a couple of things. My support guys now come to me and they say, all right, we've got some intermittent problems going on. We don't really know what the problem is. Can you help us out? So, you know, being the second level guy, I come back and say, well, you know, what have you done so far? What have you figured out? Say, well, we have the IP address of somebody who has been trying to buy some stuff from the website and is complaining of problems. All right, well, you know, I hope one of the things you picked up from Christina and Steve is we're a search engine. And I'm actually going to start with the Splunk search in what we call the Splunk search app. Okay, now, I'm going to bring this to some pretty dashboards with a whole lot of information, if you bear with me. So stick with me a little bit, we'll get there. This is the search app. This is more of the traditional Splunk, sort of the traditional Splunk interface. So what do I know here? You know, I know this person's IP address, and I can just start typing that IP address. One thing you'll notice is as I start typing, there's something that looks a lot like your browser's type ahead feature. You've probably seen this before if you've used IP or Firefox. Well, the data that's actually coming up as I type is not coming from the browser, it's coming from Splunk. So this is data that's very much in context to the search. I'm going to put in the address here. I know the address is 10.2.1.44. And again, as I'm typing, you see you'll see the drill down a little bit go and get there. Now, I actually know that term is in the Splunk instance because this has actually come back and told me that it's found it 10,000 times or so. I'm going to do something else here too. I'm going to change my search range to the last 4 hours. Okay, one of the things with this, the search engine search capability is I can look at any time, and that time can be very, very customized. So real quick, just go and do that search, and sort of show you what comes up here. So a couple things I want to point out. First is this whole idea of the histogram. Yeah, the histogram shows me where over time, or actually the amount of times that search term has been found over time. I could drill down into this, or I could actually range some of this out and just look for a specific time range. I'm going to keep it the way it is right now. The other thing we've got here are the raw events. So this is the raw data that's coming from any system, any log, any data producing device that actually contains that search string that I stuck in there. And again, I just put the IP address in. Another thing I want to bring your attention to, and we'll absolutely talk more about these during the technical sessions, over on the right-hand side, or what we call fields. Okay, fields are data. Fields are elements that have been extracted from the data in the search. So this is all very much in context. And I'm going to just take a look at one right now which says status. I'm going to take a peek at that. And I'm just going to back this up and go a little bit further out on my search. So the status, you may recognize the status in here. These are actually web statuses, right? So this is the status coming back from Apache. There's 200s, there's 302s, there's 503s. Right, so what do I know at this point? Well, that IP address did actually generate an error. See, I can see the 503 on there. I can click on that 503. Let me tell you what's going to happen and show you what's going to happen. So a couple things, right? First off, my search bar here has changed. Christina had mentioned the whole idea of point and click inside of the product. I click on the 503. Now it's also searching for, in addition to searching for the IP address that I put in, it's searching for where status is 503. So, I can look through here and I can see my data, and I can see, in this case, I'm really just looking at Apache data, but I can see where I was getting those 503 errors. What I'm going to do here, just for purposes of finding out what's causing these 503s, is I'm going to click on one of these timestamps. What clicking on a timestamp does is locks in the search for that particular time, range. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back up here. I'm going to say, you know what? Show me everything. Quick search on start. Show me everything that was happening within that one given time range. So if I start looking here, already I'm seeing some sort of some nasty stuff, right? So I'm seeing a whole bunch of critical errors, and it looks like the database is shutting down. There's an error here that says that there's an error writing the file. If I look through here, I'll probably find some WebSphere errors that's got issues writing out to the database. If I actually dig in here, I can see that that database is shutting down, and there's definitely a problem getting out to the MySQL data file. So probably explains why my users are getting errors, stuff like that. That's sort of the search capability, right? Where I can search down from pretty much data that's sitting in Apache logs, going into getting back to things like the MySQL logs, like the WebSphere logs. Sort of brings that all forward. Well, so that's sort of the searching. Now, one of the things that I've noticed here is